Let me explain this yama first. Restraint of all senses by means of such knowledge as all this is Brahman is called yama. It should be practiced again and again. Whereas Patanjali described as non-killing, truthfulness, non-stealing, continence, all these things. But one should understand, when one knows everything to be Brahman, all of these follows as a matter of course, yes or no. Here, Shankara directly talking about Patanjali. Normally he will not do that, but here he is very straightway attacking Patanjali. But what Shankara says is, knowledge of all this is Brahman is yama. It's how simple it is. Very simple. Knowledge of all this is Brahman is yama. He further says, one knows that everything is Brahman, whatever is said by Patanjali follows as a matter of course, yes or no. What he is telling me is, the Patanjali's yama is a preliminary stage of understanding yama. Understanding of yama by Shankara is much higher level, very much higher level. It is the statement of Shankara. I am only his voice, that's all. I am communicating whatever he said. Not even a single word is mine. Then what is niyama? Very simple. The continuous flow of only one kind of thought and exclusion of all other thoughts is called niyama. A single thought will flow in your mind. No other thoughts is called niyama, which is very, very truly the supreme bliss and is regularly practiced by those who want to have that aparoksha anubhuti. One kind of thought. What's that thought? What thought is? He said only one kind of thought. What thought it is? That is realizing the self is Brahman. This Atman is Brahman. I am Brahman. This is the niyama step, the second step. He also quotes Patanjali niyama: internal purification, contentment, Vedic study, and worship of God. That's what he says. He concludes further, Shankara, these will come easily accessible. One who constantly dwells on Brahman. Arey, what is this? Why should I work on all these things? Purification, Vedic study and all, worship of God. No. When I have a thought that self is Atman and I am Brahman, all this follows. What is this? Yes, it is true. Then, this is a very interesting step. Tyaga. What is Tyaga? Renunciation. What? Leaving everything, going back to Himalayas? Leaving wife, children, properties, enjoyment, comfort, everything Tyaga. Renunciate. Wear khadi, shave your head, go to Himalayas. No. No. He says clearly, the abandonment of the illusory universe. That's all. That is Tyaga. You abandon the illusory universe by realizing it as the all-conscious Atman is the real renunciation. That's it. We understand what Tyaga now. Abandonment, renunciation of the illusory universe by realizing it as all the conscious Atman is the real renunciation. Since it is of the nature of immediate liberation, that is the real renunciation, that is the real Tyaga. There are many explain. Here, Shankara differs. That's why Shankara stands apart from many teachers, many gurus, many spiritual stalwarts. He says, Tyaga is giving up all kinds of action, whether scriptural or mundane, and then engaged in inactivity. This, however, is far from what is really meant by renunciation, which in its deepest sense is all positive. It is when one realizes Atman everywhere, and that covers nothing, that one is said to have real Tyaga, real renunciation. Here he refers to Shruti from Ishopanishad, our ancient text. He will not simply make his comment, though he is a realized soul, but he refers to Ishopanishad that says, clothe everything in this transitory world with God and thus maintain thyself by that renunciation. So, we have no doubt on what is renunciation. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. Realize that the world is illusory and reality is Brahman. That's all. That doesn't mean we must stop enjoying all this available to us. No. No. I always quote. We know that when you sit in a cinema hall, we enjoy that, the movie. But we know it is only illusory. It is only, nobody is there playing. It is just illusory. You enjoy it, is not so. Similarly, you must enjoy every damn thing in the life. That's renunciation.